Well, their season's been disappointing. But theirs is about to begin. What's going on, guys? Dick Report here, back to another video. And the NFL is just a few days away. Week 1 on Thursday. We also have a Friday game. Oh man, this season could be amazing. I hope it is. I'm not wasting any more time. Let's get into these games. And no, I'm not taking this hat off. I'm keeping it on. Alright, and to kick off the 2025 season, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And I just have one thing to say to Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Are you completely insane? No, I mean, are you completely insane? You trade Micah Parsons to the Packers, a team that has routinely kicked your butt, and you get 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark? Okay, that's great. But Parsons is a once-in-a-generation type of player. You could have gotten this done a year ago, and you wouldn't have had to pay that much. Seriously, what is wrong with you? On top of that, you extend to Ron Bland. I don't know what you think you're doing right now, because the trade to the Packers would indicate that you're rebuilding, but instead, it also looks like you're trying to compete? What? What are you doing, Jerry Jones? What are you doing? All right, ran over Philadelphia. I mean, their team's basically almost the same. I mean, Milton Williams is gone, Josh Sweat is gone, but I mean, Saquon Barkley got extended, Jalen Hurts is still here, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are still here, the offensive line is still pretty good. There is still a lot to like about Philadelphia, and maybe they can finally break the streak. And what I mean is, maybe they can finally be the team to win consecutive division titles in the NFC East for the first time in over 20 years. Be nice to see that for once. Oh, wait, I haven't even made my pick. It's Philadelphia. Didn't I make that clear? Another divisional matchup for Friday night. We have Kansas City taking on the Chargers, and the Chargers, they're trying to come off a playoff game that was very, very bad for them. Justin Herbert threw more interceptions in that game than he did all of the regular season in 2024. That just cannot happen. And against the Kansas City Chiefs, look, they are still the powerhouse in the AFC until further notice. And we all know that. They are the favorites every year until somebody can beat them. Please, somebody beat them. Please. As for this game, yeah, I'm definitely going with Kansas City. They just find ways to win these type of games. It's probably not going to be pretty, but then again, they didn't win pretty a lot last year, did they? A few more division matchups to start week 1. This is pretty exciting. The Giants are taking on the Commanders. Now, the Commanders, they are definitely a team that I think a lot of people are picking to have a slump this year after getting to the NFC Championship, and I completely understand that. And I think the big thing's going to be how do teams adjust to Jaden Daniels. He has a full year starting under his belt, and it is one where teams could definitely have adjusted to him, and they could really slow him down this year. Not to mention the Commanders, they did get lucky in a lot of their games last year. Let's be honest. They did have some luck go their way, so can they have a repeat of what happened last year? That remains to be seen, but for the Giants, I mean, pretty much coaches are fighting for their jobs. That's really what it is. Brian Daboll, if they have another season like they did last year, he's gone. And he's probably gone before the season is even over. You have Jackson Dart, who they took in the first round, probably not going to play for a while if Russell Wilson is able to stay on the field. I definitely am going to go with the Commanders on this one. But man, this is a big season for the Giants. It could really determine what is going to happen with their future. The Tampa Bay taking on Atlanta. Now, definitely these are the 2 best teams in the NFC South. I know that's not really saying a whole lot, but these are the 2 teams I would expect to compete for the division. Atlanta, I've said this time and time again, all they need is solid quarterback play, and they're going to give Tampa Bay a good run for their money. I just don't know if that's going to happen. Yes, Kirk Cousins is the backup, and now you have Michael Penix as a starter, but is Penix going to be a good quarterback in the NFL? that remains to be seen, but they do have weapons all around it. You have Bijan Robinson, you have Drake London. Hopefully Kyle Pitts finally shows what he can do on a football field. They drafted 2 edge rushers in the first round. I know it's going to be a lot to ask for them in year 1, but hopefully they get solid play out of them. And as for the Buccaneers, I mean, they're just a solid team all around. Baker Mayfield is good. Mike Evans is good. They get a wide receiver in the first round. Chris Godwin's probably going to be back about midway through the year. And Bucky Irvin is probably a little bit of an underrated running back at this point. So the Buccaneers, they're solid all around. So they should definitely be the favorite in the NFC South. This game could really set the tone for what happens in this division. And I'm definitely going Tampa Bay over Atlanta. I just have to see it from the Falcons before I'm going to believe that they are going to be the favorites in the division. I have to see it for myself. But really, this could go either way, depending on how they start off. Cincinnati's taking on Cleveland, and I know, another divisional matchup. I told you, week 1 is full of them. And as for this one, Cincinnati just have one thing to tell you. Please don't lose again in week 1 to a team you're supposed to kill. It cost you last year when you lost the Patriots, and that's what prevented you from going to the playoffs. Don't do it again. As for Cleveland, I don't even know what to say right now. You're starting Joe Flacco. You draft 2 quarterbacks in the draft. 1 in the 3rd round, 1 in the 5th. The guy in the 5th round, a lot of people thought was going to be a top 10 pick at one point. This is just crazy right now. What is going on with the Browns? And it's not even just that. It's also the thing with Myles Garrett. It's everything that's been going on with them really since they traded for Deshaun Watson. It's not pretty right now. As for Cincinnati, look, you have questions, but you have a chance to get an easy win in week 1. Don't blow it. I'm picking you. Again, don't blow it. Next up are 2 teams I'm not too confident in going into 2025. Miami's taking on Indianapolis. For Indianapolis, they're going to start Daniel Jones. Yeah, it's not looking good right now for Anthony Richardson. I mean, his first 2 years weren't great, and now he got beat out by Daniel Jones, who was pretty much ran out of town from the Giants. Yeah, it's not looking good right now for Richardson or really the Colts as a whole. I've said this before, they have some good, solid pieces on that team, but the quarterback situation is what's been holding them back for the longest time now, and now Jones is the next one on the list. I really don't know what to expect from the Colts. I mean, maybe they can shock people, maybe they could do something, but I don't know. I just don't know because of the quarterback situation. Meanwhile, for Miami, we know who their quarterback is, all right? It's Tua. And Tua's a good quarterback when he stays healthy, but he has to stay healthy. The other issue is, though, the corners are essentially not there right now. I mean, Jalen Ramsey got traded. Others were lost to injury. There's not a lot to like about this secondary, and that's what's really scaring me about the Dolphins right now. And also the offensive line. The offensive line is not looking great right now. Austin Jackson is probably the best offensive lineman on the Dolphins, and he's about an average to below average offensive lineman. This is not looking good for a Dolphin team that not too long ago was looking like a really good team. I mean, it's just not good. And Mike McDaniel could be really challenging for his job right now. He could be. I mean, if they have a horrible season, I definitely could see him being gone. And as for this game, I'm just going to go with the home team, and I'll go with Indianapolis. But man, this could be a rough season for both of them. Up next are 2 teams that definitely could make some noise this year if things go their way. Carolina taking on Jacksonville. For Carolina, once Bryce Young came back from being benched, he was a completely different passer. And he showed that he is possibly the guy that they took #1 overall, not the guy that they saw in his first year and early in his second year. Now, can he take what he learned in 2024 and apply it to 2025, and can Carolina continue to grow as a team? I'm not asking Carolina to make the playoffs, but I think like a 7 to 9 win season, that would be very good for them. And again, Bryce Young just showing that he can continue to improve, and getting Derek Brown back after he was lost early last year is going to be big for this defense, but there's still pieces that need to be made on this defense. And getting J.C. Horn extended. He's a good corner when he's healthy. If he can stay fully healthy through an entire season, he's one of the best corners in the NFL. And no, I'm not exaggerating. That's the truth. Now, as for Jacksonville, they have a new head coach, and yes, I know the introductory press conference with him saying Duval the way he did it. Look, I'm going to go past that right now and just talk about what this could mean for Trevor Lawrence in this offense. Look, Trevor Lawrence has not been the generational talent that we thought he was going to be when he was drafted first overall. However, he is still a capable NFL quarterback that has proven that he can play well if he's behind good pieces. Okay? Going into year 2 with Brian Thomas and then drafting Travis Hunter with the 2nd overall pick. And look, I don't know how much Travis Hunter is going to play on both sides, and really I don't care. I just want to see him make an impact for this Jacksonville team. And the pass rushing duo between Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen, that is one of the best in the NFL. You can make an argument it's probably the best in the NFL right now. I'm going to go with Carolina over Jacksonville, but I do expect this game to be close. And both of these teams can get off to a very good start. Like I said, both could definitely make some noise. Raiders are taking on New England, and for New England, it's just all about Drake May at this point. If Drake May can have a good sophomore season, show that he can continue to improve after a pretty solid rookie season by him, that's going to be good for New England. Again, this is another team that I don't care if they make the playoffs. I just want to see them improve. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, you bring in Geno Smith, you draft Ashton Gente. There's a lot to like about the Raiders, but there's also just as much to kind of fear, worry about. Christian Wilkins is gone after the weird things that happened with him over the offseason. It was just weird. I'm not getting into that right now. But really for the Raiders, I mean, these first few games are really going to tell the whole story. As for this game, I am going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with New England over the Raiders. But Raiders are just hard to figure out. They really are. Arizona's going to be taking on New Orleans, and for New Orleans, they are going to start Spencer Rattler at quarterback. Panic, Saints fans. Just panic. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this is one of the surprise teams from last year. They really were in contention for a playoff spot until the late season collapse kind of ruined it. But now they're going into a season where the NFC West could be up for grabs, and they could end up on top if things go their way. Now, Kyler Murray, he's got to play his best football all year long. That's going to be the key to Arizona. They have pieces around him, but it's all up to Kyler at this point. I am going to go with the Cardinals over the Saints, so I do say they start 1-0. But as the season goes on, if Murray is struggling at times again, just not going to be enough. Tennessee taking on Denver, and why did we stop talking about Cam Ward the second the Titans drafted him first overall? I swear, even Trayvon Walker was talked about a little bit after he went first overall, but Cam Ward has just been dead silent. Alright? Let's see what he can do. And as for the Broncos, second-year quarterback Bo Nix, and a very solid team all around, with a defense that is possibly top 3, maybe could be the top defense in the NFL this year. Yeah, I think it's safe to say, have expectations for the Broncos. I'm going with them over Tennessee. Alright? That's simple. Broncos start 1-0. San Francisco taking on Seattle, and with San Francisco, yeah, they got decimated by injuries last year, and it's kind of happening again this year because the receiving corps got hurt during training camp, and yeah, that's not good. And they lost a lot of pieces in free agency, so yeah, there's a lot to really talk about with the 49ers. I still think they're gonna be able to somewhat compete this year. I know I had them pretty low on my power rankings, but to me it's just I need to see them on the field first before I'm going to become a believer in them. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, again, the NFC West is potentially up for grabs this year, and Seattle is definitely a team that can take it, but will they? That's going to be the big question for me, okay? You trade away Geno Smith, you get Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, yeah, he had a great season last year with Minnesota, but he had so many pieces around him, and definitely Seattle has a weaker offense than Minnesota, so will it be enough to help out Darnold? I think the defense is going to be fine, but if Sam Darnold can't perform, can't live up to the contract that he signed, it's going to be a little rough for them. Oh, I forgot to say, Seattle. I'm just going to go with the home team on this one. Detroit taking on Green Bay. Okay, yes, Michael Parsons, back injury, probably needs to be monitored all year long. So maybe Jerry Jones isn't as dumb as we all think. No, it was still a dumb trade. Look, even if Michael Parsons misses part of the season, as long as he's on the field for the Packers, he's going to make an impact. That's just the kind of player that he is. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they lost both of their coordinators, and let's just hope we don't have another 2023 Philadelphia Eagles situation where they lost both their coordinators after going to the Super Bowl. And yeah, that last part of the season was not pretty to them, if we all remember correctly. As for this game, I am going to go with Green Bay because they went 1-5 in the division last year, so they know how important it is to get off to a hot start with a division rival Week 1. Houston taking on the Rams, and for Houston, Larry Tunsil is gone. The receiving core, while you still have Nico Collins, I think there is going to be question marks on whether it's enough with CJ Stroud, and yeah, there is a lot of questions going into the season with the Texans, but they should still be considered the favorite in the NFC South. Meanwhile, for the Rams, this is all dependent on the health of Matthew Stafford. It looks like he's going to play, but if he has to miss significant time, it's really going to hurt the Rams. As for this game, I am going to go with the Los Angeles Rams over the Houston Texans. But again, if Matthew Stafford can't stay healthy, that is not going to be good for this Rams team. Okay, so we have an AFC divisional round rematch between Baltimore and Buffalo. Both of these teams, it's simple. Can you finally get over the hump? They have the teams to do it. Can they finally do it? Can they be the ones to take down the Chiefs and get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl? That is going to be the question for both of these teams throughout the entire season. The regular season essentially means nothing to these two teams as long as they get into the playoffs. Once they get into the playoffs, that's when the season truly starts for them. Now for this game, I expect this to be a close matchup. I expect it to come down the wire. And I expect the home team, which is the Bills, to take the win. And our Monday night matchup is going to be Minnesota and Chicago. Chicago, off-season champs. I get that. But you got to prove it on the field. Last year you were off to a great start, and then the Hail Mary against Washington happens and you fall off the edge of a cliff. Okay? Can you finally get back to the playoffs? And is Caleb Williams finally the answer at quarterback that you have needed for a long time? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, for the Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, after he was lost last year in the preseason to a season-ending injury, Sam Darnold comes in, plays spectacularly throughout most of the season. But the final 2 weeks were not pretty. You have a team that can make a deep run. Okay? You have pieces all over the place. But now McCarthy's the one that is driving the bus. Is he ready? And how effective is he going to be? If he's solid, the Vikings will have a chance. If he's anything less than that, it could be a little bit of a frustrating season for Vikings fans. Alright? Now I'm going to go with Minnesota over the Bears in this one. I am going to go with Minnesota. But again, these are two teams that are definitely going to have the microscope on them to start the year. Will they rise to the challenge? Alright guys, those were my picks for Week 1. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win Week 1? And also subscribe to the channel and like the video. And I'll see you guys next time.